Before we get started, I just want to mention that this is my first attempt at a vlog. It ain't going to be perfect by any means, but they say don't be afraid and keep moving forward, so that's what we're doing today. Walt Disney World. The most magical place on Earth is regarded to be the king of tourist destinations. And for good reason, too. I mean, the outside world can seem so sad and upsetting, but as soon as you cross that sign, the vibe immediately changes. And there's so much to do in Disney World because the entire area is massive. And with so many people on the internet telling you, along with their thousands of followers, all the crazy things you can do in the House of Mouse, it's nice to see what a regular guy like most of us are do some of these things. Which, if that sounds good to you, this video is worth a watch.
Sure, we get an hyperdrive online.
What's your purpose in Port Royal, Mr. Smith? No.
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 It's only $124.
No.
That's like $125 too much.
I think.
Kicking things off here, here's a general idea of the type of trip we had planned. There were 3 of us. We stayed down at Disney World for 5 days, Monday through Friday, and stayed in a value resort. Most families will find this to be a really affordable way to do Disney, and I am all about affordable.
Well, what are we waiting for?
So first we have day 1, where we started our journey off at 5:30 in the morning. We live just outside Atlanta, Georgia, and since we're not rich enough to fly down to Orlando, that means we gotta drive the 6 to 7 hours down ourselves. About an hour and a half in, we stopped at the greatest mega gas station, BUC-EE'S.
Just think about beavers. They have a face that makes it look like they always have a really, really good joke to tell. That's just the face that all beavers have, and Bucky is no exception.
A big bag. Can you play?
You don't know what this is, do you?
Sorry, sir, no clue.
David. If someone threw this at you, what would you do? Yeah, what are you supposed to do with it?
Throw it.
And what with it? You don't just throw it. It's a kickback.
It's like a hacky sack.
What do you do? I'm so confused.
It's a hacky sack.
I don't, what?
They're called Guatemalan kickbag.
So do you kick them?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a hacky sack.
I don't know what that is.
You know what a hacky sack is?
Correct.
No.
It's only $124.
No.
That's like $125 too much.
A Bucky.
Oh my lord. It's a bever. It's a bever. Do you need a bever?
No, I'm good. I already have it traveling. Like,
After refueling and shopping around a little bit, we resumed our journey. So Tater, we just hit basically both stops for Texas.
in Georgia.
In Georgia. We got the BUC-EE'S, and now we had the Booga Booga.
The Wonder Woman.
The Wonder Woman.
Natalie's hiding under the seat. She don't want to be on camera. But she's adorable. She's adorable, yes, but she stays on the bed. She's going to make it look like we kidnapped her and get ourselves pulled over if we're not careful. So make sure you're moving and that you know that you're okay to be here. Otherwise, Florida Highway Patrol might not think that that's funny. We get pulled over.
Officer, help me.
My husband and stupid brother-in-law abducted me and they're taking me to Disney World.
I don't want to go.
See, are there cows? No cows? No cows.
That is a field without cows.
It's a big field without cows. T-minus approximately 4 hours till we get to Disney.
We proceeded along our normal course down to Orlando and arrived in the House of Mouse an hour later than we originally planned.
Apparently someone decided to wreck right outside of Disney World that caused an hour-long knockout.
Yeah. So yeah.
But we finally arrived at our resort for the week, Disney's Pop Century Resort. This is that cheaper value resort I had mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they look like they're having a grand old time. They look like they're having a grand old time.
Grand old time. You and I would have a grand old time.
This is how hot it's gonna be. I'm really loving it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
This is the perfect weather.
I mean, I'm still wearing this hoodie, but I really.
I'm wearing my hoodie.
Look, you see anything suspicious about this hoodie, by the way?
It just looks like you made it out of a snake.
Supposedly.
The camera hates it. Like, it really does not pick up. But we had no time to rest from our multi-hour trek because we had to book it outside the Disney World area to go to medieval times. So we're royalty.
We are royal. Because I paid for the good stuff.
Alright, but you're in for the night tonight?
Awesome.
Also
Thank
show that to the photographer for the photos. They're included.
you. All right, thank you.
Hello. This was a personal favorite of my brother David back in Atlanta, and we had never visited the original castle down in Orlando.
The age-old dance of the hunted and the hunter begins.
Behold, she takes wing.
Oh my gosh.
Send him to his doom!
You got it!
Come on. Don't fall over now. Get him! Yeah!
Better luck next time! And while we were there, David wasn't opposed to forking over a few nickels and dimes for a flashy souvenir. So we're getting settled here in our room finally, and we're chilling on probably the best pizza we have ever eaten.
Well, that's debatable. Although, the guy checking this out said he's a New Yorker, so he knows good pizza. When he sees it, he says this is among the best. So at least we have a resident expert talking on the subject.
Natalie is half done with hers, man. Come on.
The sauce is amazing.
All right, show us what you bought, David.
Alright, we'll do this right now. Alright. You say so.
So we had the black plastic sword that we bought at medieval times.
But I got something a little more photorealistic. Inspired by the famed sword of Aragorn, son of Aragorn. Forged from the shards of Narsil. Under the flame of the west with a really, really short, narrow blade.
You look like you're literally about to go to war with that.
A little bit of rattle, but decent amount of friction fit in the sheath. Technically, this is a scabbard, not a sheath. It's mostly partially wood being covered in leather. Very nice metal faceting here. I just needed to fashion a sword frog for it to actually hang it here. I think. It's decent. Very decent. And this, of course, yeah, it's dull and blunt. So I can
No!
poke you with it.
No!
But
There's your 3D effects for the day.
I can.
Get a good look at this.
Yeah, it's even got the Elvish script on it. I didn't notice that before.
So you literally could have just bought this from a LARP from Lord of the Rings.
Well, not necessarily LARP, but LARP is all foam stuff. This is real steel. Wait, is it real steel or just aluminum? You can figure that out very quickly. Yep, that's steel.
Oh my gosh! The next day, we headed to our first Disney park, which was the much slept on Animal Kingdom. We had a marvelous time there with the safaris and the meet and greets and the rides. For those of you who think that Animal Kingdom is a half-day park, you couldn't be more wrong.
Coming up on the right, we're going to see these tall animals. They are giraffes.
The tallest land animals, 6 feet tall when they're born, 18 to 20 feet tall when they're fully grown, and a herd of giraffe known as a tower. Now they'll spend about 16 to 20 hours every day eating. And when they do, they'll use their long prehensile tongues. They wrap them around the tree branches, strip the leaves off. Their tongues are long enough that they could lick their own eyeballs if they wanted to.
Leading up to the crown jewel, Pandora.
So now we are in the world of Avatar, also known as Pandora. This place is beautiful. You almost said what?
Pangea, that's prehistoric Earth. No, Pandora, like the
box.
like jewelry. Yeah. Guess we got our colorblind glasses on again.
I'm about to say, yeah, we.
Jungle kind of. You
can hear all the exotic animals. And you put on the colorblind glasses in here just like the rest of them. Man, this place is beautiful.
After a full day of all of this, I was whooped. So it kind of put a damper on the start of our second day, which was supposed to be a day to exploring surrounding resorts.
Here we are, second full day of the trip rather. Here at the beautiful Pop Century Resort, we're just walking around. Today we're going to do a little bit of resort hopping. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to get on that big contraption over there. Yeah, that thing. Skyliner. We're just going to be jumping around to different resorts and just seeing what kind of cool stuff they have to offer. So it's going to be a great time. However, we've got ourselves a little bit of a walking wounded situation. He's over here limping on a bad ankle.
Quick.
Nah, he'll get through it. We always do. Anyway, we're gonna see if we can't crash into the lake into one of these giant skypod thingies.
I'm sorry guys, but I'm a 300-pound human planetoid who unfortunately isn't accustomed to walking for 12 to 16 hours. So I had literally sprained my ankle by walking on it.
Now what would you go and do a thing like that for?
But after doping up on Advil, we pressed on.
Come on, Cripple, come on.
And we made it.
We made it.
Day 4 began with us returning to the animal kingdom because we just had to ride Expedition Everest.
They were going up at an angle.
A very steep angle at that, at a very steep speed. We'll easily tank about 3 Gs to the face on this ride.
And that's when we realized the power of the single rider line. Basically, on some rides, if you're okay with riding a ride with a group of strangers and being riding buddies with someone random, there's a special line that you can get and that usually lasts less than 5 minutes. And when the regular standby line for most things runs 30 minutes to an hour or more, it makes it a pretty sweet deal.
Wow, look at that.
Now, I have to admit, I had completely underestimated character meet and greets. They are so much fun, to the point where the outside world literally just vanishes. Even David got in on the action.
Or you want to do the thing?
I'm gonna do the thing as soon as he walks by.
Are you sure you want to? Oh my goodness, he's actually quite large.
Yeah, that's rather large size.
So Taylor, you just got all up close and personal with Kevin. What'd you think of him?
He's a burb.
He's a big old bird.
He's a big bird.
He's massive.
Yeah.
He's like actually
life-sized. He is huge-ish.
Huge-ish. Just a little bit minorly huge.
Just a little bit.
Afterwards, we headed to Hollywood Studios so we could enjoy the wonders of the movies, but not before David got flagged by security for being too magnetic. Trust me, if David was really a threat to Disney World, he'd be a threat to NATO themselves. In Hollywood Studios, we especially took a liking to Star Wars Land, or as it's colloquially known, Batuu. It legit feels like you're wandering a Star Wars planet, complete with all the nuances of living in space Nazi Germany, including military patrols and martial law, harassing innocent civilians, and even youth indoctrination. But we had a great time because we got to pilot the Millennium Falcon.
Sure, we get the hyperdrive unlocked.
Night pilot, made the jump to light speed.
Come on, Tater.
Here we are.
And it would have been a smoother ride if the left hand would talk to the right. Okay, so
This thing's seen better days. Better fix all that before the Wookiee sees it.
Natalie, what did you do to this place?
She kept slamming us into the wall.
And we capped it off by David making yet another frivolous purchase of a fake melee weapon.
This is the way.
All right, David, what do we have here that you bought at the Galaxy's Edge?
I bought the Darksaber. And surprisingly enough, I didn't have to win it in trial by combat. They were very nice. I just paid the money. She handed me the box. Everybody was happy.
Wait, you're supposed to play that by trial by combat?
That's apparently how you're supposed to win it according to all the lore. Why am I glowing? That's interesting.
It knows.
It knows.
It knows.
Allen key. Oh yeah, this is the Mando bracelet.
Because mine's not doing anything. And I have a Star Wars thing too.
Right. Perfect.
You'll put somebody's eye out with that.
I don't want that. I don't want that one.
And on our final day, we ended in the best possible way by going shopping in Disney Springs, where we practically put all our money in a pile and then set it on fire, because we spent way too much money on the dumbest and most useless stuff. But was it fun? Oh yeah, it was fun. Disney World is about having the best experience you can have, and no matter what, that happened for us. But some of you may be noticing something interesting about this video.
Where's the castle? Where's the castle?
And for that I have to say, it's in another video.
You can't be serious.
This trip, we didn't visit the Magic Kingdom, which is where Cinderella's castle resides in.
How do you go to Disney World and not go to Magic Kingdom?
And guys, I get it. To most Disney adults, this seems like the most diabolical heresy.
It's not possible.
Not probable.
But this trip was more about doing things at the Mouse House that were new and exploring a different trip. Magic Kingdom was just not a high priority because we've done that. We've seen it. But don't get me wrong, now that they have the new ride Tron Light Cycle Run open and ready for guests, we now have a reason for returning to that park and greeting Cindy's abode once again. Which brings me to my golden rule of planning a Disney World trip. Always plan to go back to Disney World. And that's gonna do it for this video. This took me a while. Look at that. You know, my hair's having a little bit of an issue here. Thank you all so much for watching all the way up to the end here, and I really hope you enjoyed our unique look at a Disney trip. And I invite you to join us for our next adventure when David learns firsthand what a cavity search is.